Hello everyone, this is Tribecast episode 15 and my name is Marina. Those have been 2 rough weeks for me, however, now Tribecast is back and we are ready to continue our weekly Friday releases on YouTube, iTunes and Spreaker. This week there are 2 interviews for you with 2 different players of Finnish startup ecosystem. First, Linda Huhtala from Mai will share her experience of establishing a startup in beauty sector and finding a perfect team. And then you'll hear a discussion on the importance of business communities and a definition of a startup from Timo from Crazy Town. My name is Marina, this is Tribecast 3, so let's get started. And our first guest of this week is Linda. Hello, Linda. Thank you very much for making it for this interview.
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I'm Linda Huhtala and I'm from Mai.
According to your LinkedIn, Mai is a company that brings beauty to you. What does it mean?
Yeah, Mai is an online platform which provides beauty and well-being services to the customers. So that means that the customers can book an order and pay the services and bring the services to you, like for home offices or events or like elderly mothers' care homes and any kind of places.
So you have a database of, say, hairdressers or nail artists who will come and do stuff?
Basically, at the moment, we are more in a beauty sector, but we are having like personal trainers, physiotherapists and masseurs. So any kind of. But at the moment, because I'm a hairdresser by myself, so that would be obviously easiest to go in a beauty sector first of all.
Okay. Do you remember how did the idea came up to your mind?
Yeah, I do actually. It was already like 8 years ago. I had my own company, the salon in Tampere, and I have been hairdresser already almost 20 years. So, and I have been always been like either renting the chair in another company or running my own business. So I have been noticed like what the customer needs and what kind of different kind of problems do I have in running my own business. So Mai is not only the customer's services, but we are also providing the business to business. Like in my salon, I can buy in the summertime when we need, like in a peak season, we need extra hands. So I can buy professional hairdressers through Mai to come to my salon and help us. Actually, tomorrow we are starting the first, like the real business to business model and like a pilot. And the one hairdressing salon in Tampere, they have bought the services from Mai, and I'm going to there and doing like the whole day. And then I have in other cities also, the professionals has been noticed that, okay, the Mai can be also something else than just the services to customers.
So both B2B and B2C. I still have one more question about the customers. How do you ensure that the qualities you provide to customer at home or say in the office is the same quality that you provide in a salon? I basically mean equipment and safety.
It's actually really easy. It's like I have been doing this already. It's like so many years, and I have been already starting to. Even the idea came up 8 years ago, but I really start to do and I bought different kind of things that I need that I can work in offices or customers' home. So of course, like the scissors, it's the same than in salon, but also we are doing the hair dyeing and we have specific tools for that we can actually bring all the colors and also the moving washing tools to the customers. So we can do basically everything same as in salon.
Will it be possible for a person who speaks no Finnish to use your services?
Of course. At the moment, we have been thinking about, and we have already, when we were doing the platform, we were thinking that we have to have also those English versions, and that also like customers from other countries can book also the hairdresser or other services to them. And of course, because we want to go to the other countries,
Right.
so we are doing that at the time.
Do you think that it's easy to start a business of your own in Finland for both Finns and non-Finns?
I think so, yeah. I have been always an entrepreneur, so I always recommend and talking that the entrepreneur and running your own business in Finland, it's a good thing, and it's really easy. Of course, we have the hard things, but I think it should be hard. If it would be easy, I would always say it would be the running the business. You know, it has to be hard. But I would say in Finland, and even nowadays when we have so many different kind of opportunities to do that, it just in a one click in the internet and you can be a entrepreneur. So I think it's really easy.
What do you generally think of the Finnish startup ecosystem of now? Do you see any differences between like how it was a few years ago, maybe some 8 years ago?
About the startup?
By the way, do you consider Mai as a startup?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in our sector, in beauty sector, I think even now the startup scheme, it's not that common thing, you know, and it's quite a new thing. But I have been always really interesting about the new way to do our business and the startup scheme, and also this. I would say the startup at the moment, it's really easy, and even more and more, it's easy to do the startup business, running the startup business.
In your idea, what's the key to success for a startup?
I would say the team. Yeah, I would say the team. It's the right team to you. It's not easy to find. I have been really lucky because I have already, before I start the Mai, I have already the good team with me. And I can always call to other people, what do they think? But also there is a lot of problems to find the key people to do different kind of, like a marketing. We have also a marketing leader in our team. What kind of like marketing is the main thing?
And this is a really interesting topic, since I would like to remind our listeners that Tribe Tampere is now hiring for the new half a year. We're hiring the new team. And it will include different kind of professionals who would like to contribute to the startup community. So how do we find the right team? What kind of qualities should we search in the people?
Like in Mai, we are actually, everybody, you have to have a quality to do and education. You could also be a student at the moment. But the main thing, I think, because the customer is the person who are choosing if someone is like enough for them. I mean, some customer can say, I'm not maybe the right person to cut her hair, but maybe to some other people, I am a good cutter. So, I mean, we want to have in mind, we want to have to give the opportunity to everybody if they have their own company, they are studying at the moment, like a hairdressing or a physiotherapist, or they are running the business already. So that's the main thing.
And in beauty sphere, what's more important, education or experience?
I would say both, of course. But like in hairdressing sector, it doesn't mean I have seen a lot of students that they are so good already when they are going to the school. So I would say, of course, both.
Okay, I think I don't really have any more questions. So thank you very much, Linda, for this interview.
Okay.
And I wish all our listeners a beautiful week.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And we have one more guest this week, who is the sales director of Crazy Town. Hello, Timo, and thank you very much for having time for this interview.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me.
First things first, Timo, please tell our listeners a few things about your background.
Well, my name is Timo Lahti, and I'm working as a sales director at Crazy Town Business Communities, and I'm responsible for the sales of Pori, Hämeenlinna, Jyväskylä, and Tampere at the moment. And my background is in a totally different field of industry than this one. I have been working in the Finnish media industry since the beginning of the 90s.
So we're partially colleagues.
Yes, I have been told that I'm one of the first banner salesmen in Tampere region, as we started to sell banners to Keltainen Pörssi in 1993, when the internet came to Tampere.
Back to Crazy Town. In my understanding, Crazy Town is a co-working space for startups. Have I missed something?
You are partly right, yes, because perhaps 1/3 of our companies or members are startups. The rest are entrepreneurs and companies who have gone a little bit further. They perhaps have some sales abroad already and are growing at the moment. So 1/3 perhaps are startups. Yes.
And since we mentioned that, how would you define a startup?
Well, a startup is a pretty small company. They perhaps have some sales already, but they are very sales-oriented and they are seeking growth. And normally they are perhaps less than 5 years old. So this could be some form of a definition, but it varies a lot from country to country and depending on who you ask. They can also be startups that are like old companies, but they are starting in a new business field, for instance. A company who has been around for 10 years, but then suddenly they make a turnover, for instance. They start in a totally new business where they have no experience, for instance. And we could call that a startup as well.
That's a good definition, a broad one. Maybe I can take as an encyclopedical, iconic one. Right. And since we kind of touched that, what do you generally think of Finnish startup ecosystem of now? First of all, about its situation. And secondly, do you feel that there are differences between Finnish startup ecosystem, Finnish startup culture, so to say, and, well, rest of the world?
There are differences, yes. First, the situation of startups at the moment. It's going forward and the startups are getting more and more international. One of the problems, as I've been following this field now for 5 or 6 years, the most common problem with high-tech companies especially is the lack of sales force. The products might be really good, perhaps the best in the world, but then companies cannot market and cannot sell the products as well as they should have been sold. That's one of the big issues that I have been discovering or seeing in the last few years. And then the situation of the Finnish startups, it's getting better all the time because the teams are more international and you need international people in the team if you want to go abroad. If you have a team of only Finns, then it's really difficult for you to go to Latin America or Canada or Central Europe or whatever. You need people from that area to succeed. And this is something that is growing all the time, the understanding that for a startup to grow internationally, you need more people than just Finns on board. This is nice to see because it's the way how these companies can grow. They need the cultural understanding and native languages of the country they are going to.
Right. One of the ways to form a team, at least in my experience, is to meet among your co-students. And we have recently witnessed that because we had a group of visitors, so to say, from Hämeenlinna University, and they visited both Tribe's premises and Crazy Town. And I know that they were pitching in Crazy Town. Could you comment on that event?
Yeah, that was really interesting for us as well. Yeah, the international students came to Crazy Town. They were, I would say, around 45, 50 people, and they had 9 different startup ideas or pitches that they presented. Mm-hmm. And myself, Kimmo Rouhiainen, one guy from Hamk, and then they had a visitor from Denmark. So 9 pitches, and the 4 of us, we rated the